Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, Lindsay.
How you doing? I know, we're both really excited about this one.
Yes, we are. But before we get into it,
Little
we kind of have to stop. This is a little more than a little disclaimer. We're talking swear words today.
Yes, and we are not censoring ourselves. So, to the extent that we are each comfortable with said swears, we will be explicitly being explicit.
Yes,
word of warning.
The settings have already been set. This is an explicit episode. We are not we are not going to be vulgar for vulgar's sake, but we are going to talk about swear words, how we use them, what we do with them. Is there purpose? Is there point? And the one that I really want to dig into of navigating swear words with kids. Yes. Most of the time, and we'll talk a little more on this, but most of the time when they say those first few words, especially when they're young and, they're trying to figure out the sounds of words and you're like, what did my child just... Oh, they're trying to call for a toy.
Fire truck. Fire.
Oh my gosh.
Truck.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually one of the fun ones. I still want to get into this. All right. Enough of that. But we are talking explicits this morning with swear words. So if you don't want to hear us swearing, if you have small children, put headphones on.
This isn't the one to have on in the van on the way to the dentist.
No. And, I mean, we're not doing this to be explicit. We are actually talking about purpose of
because we're curious,
words, so,
aren't we? We really want to know. We want to ask questions.
Right, we do. And how do you use swears? Is it appropriate to use swears? Some of the history of swears, because I've got a neat little story. I got a lot of neat stories today.
Great.
This is just, okay.
Good.
So, enough of us giving you warnings to either listen or not listen and how much we're going to swear in this episode. Lindsay, put the music on. Welcome to the 42 Podcast, where we discuss life together, looking for answers to life, the universe, and, well, everything else. Here are your hosts, Rob and Lindsay.
That was good. Good job.
All right. Good morning, Lindsay.
Okay. At first I was like, what music? Supposed to have music?
Yeah, the music.
So
the music that always plays at the beginning with my voiceover that's so soft and gentle and enticing you into our podcast. Come and join us. The
David Attenborough of podcasting.
Ooh. All right. Well, Lindsay, I got one thing to say to you this morning.
What?
Damn it, Lindsay.
Okay, so you want to lead or shall I? Do you want to start with your story that you just shared?
Ladies first.
Okay.
Ladies first.
I'm going to say I am not a prude. Exactly. But there are certain things that I do or I have tried to do in my life that when I do them in certain company, it feels really disingenuous. And swearing in front of people that aren't my husband or really close friends is one of those things. I swear a lot in front of my husband, and he swears a lot in front of me, and it's just normal. But I can't do it in front of my sisters for some reason, and I don't know why that is. It feels really weird. I swear all the time to them texting, but I can't do it in person. It's the same reason I don't wear makeup. It just doesn't feel like me.
Hey, and that's fine. Now, I do swear. I guess we're talking about how we swear, how we kind of enter into it is really where we're starting, aren't we?
We're trying to get comfortable. I think this is the foreplay of swearing.
Yeah. What swear words are you going to use? What swear words is he... Oh,
this is
are you
really
okay?
nerve-wracking.
Can I say that in front of... Okay. Anyway, so I do swear. I try not to do it often. Mel doesn't swear at all. She just, nope, that's not. She and I have been married, and there was like one point where I got her so mad that she swore. Only once. And so even then, that's something for her that just,
Does she
no.
do the sugar, oh sugar, or shut the front door, that sort of thing? Nothing? Nothing?
No. And she's very intentional about that as well, because it's, what she explains and what she does with the kids is she explains that anything used as an expletive, like shut the front door or sugar, can be a swear. Which, I mean, when you think about the evolution of swear words, I mean, that's how we got there.
Yeah.
Where one day someone was like, you know what, I really want to call that guy a donkey, so I'm going to call him an ass. And it just progressed into where we're at today with jackass. So for her, she doesn't even do the replacement, which I commend her for. She is very aware of that. She's very aware of the language and words that she uses, and she's a lot better at being good at expressing expletives in an emotionally healthy way. A lot better than I am. But I swear. I try to curb the swearing around the kids, and my worst point of swearing is it's driving. It's very cliche, but it's driving.
Yeah.
Someone cuts me off and yeah. So actually the one I've been trying to fall back on is the very polite, you sir, are a very select grouping of words. when I'm driving. I'm trying.
Really nerdy.
Yeah, I know. But it makes Mel and the kids laugh. So, when it's me, and when it's just me, I'm...
in front of the kids, I say frigging. And I say, I made one up. Frick frack. Frick frack! And the kids do say that sometimes. But, okay, here's the thing. Why are swears bad? What is it about a swear that makes it bad? Is it just the vulgarity, the commonness of it, or is it the word's original meaning?
I think it's a little bit of both. By the way, you did not make up. You said this, and I had to check to make sure I was correct. What? Frick frack?
Frick frack.
Frick has always been. But frack is something, at least in nerdese, that's the swear word, the mother of all swear words.
It is?
From Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I love sci-fi swears. Yes.
It's a sci-fi swear. Battlestar Galactica. Frack.
Frick frack. Okay.
And I've used that because it's, okay, I kind of like that. It's not like the mother of all, or and you can kind of get away with it a little.
Star Wars,
with
it's
the kids.
Karking. Kark! The Karking idiot.
Yes. No, I think it really was, though, trying to equate people to what the original meaning of the word was. Like, at the church I work at, our standard translation is the NRSV. So when you're going through the NRSV, and you're reading, like, oh my goodness, there it is, Balaam's donkey. It's not Balaam's donkey in the NRSV, it's Balaam's ass.
It's ass, yeah.
Now, try to read that with teenagers and not laugh.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's another spot in, I don't know if it's the King James version or another one, where, they had there's actually, it says pissing contest. Like it says the word pissing in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I think it's in Samuel. But I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I could have made that up.
Okay.
Too. It could just be one of those weird things. But, the reason I don't swear in front of the kids chiefly is because I don't want them to repeat it in front of my parents or in front of, I don't want them to offend anyone. And if, kids just repeat stuff. And I think swearing can make you sound unintelligent because it sort of means you don't have a way to express yourself better. So, and that's kind of sort of my feelings about it too. I sort of judge people sometimes when the only way they can express things is to say fuck. Like, there's better words to use. Although...
There are, and...
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead, say it. I know you want to say it.
We'll get to that. We'll get there. Don't worry. There's this... I don't look at it as like a level of unintelligence. I look at it as a communicative level.
But yeah, but that's kind of what I mean, I guess.
I have known some really smart people who have gutter mouths, but it's how I look at it is it's how I'm teaching my kids. Maybe that's the best way to phrase this. And I think we'll kind of go into this because this is where my curiosity, the biggest part of my curiosity is. How I have worked to teach it to my kids is when it comes to swear words, they get pretty much a free pass. Not to, like, say them, but when they hear them, when they engage with it for the first time, or, a kid at school says it, I'm driving and I mutter something under my breath because someone cut me off. They get a free pass to ask, what is this? What does this mean? Why can't I say it? Why does Daddy say it? What's going on? So, which gives me a perfect example where I kind of failed with this yesterday.
Okay.
But it's also the genuine curiosity, and it's my kids.
Okay.
There is a level of swearing that I am not okay with.
Okay.
Okay? And I just to have a little bit of fun as a brief moment aside from the main story. Where do you think that is, Lindsay?
The level? Where's the level?
Where I'm like, nope, not comfortable with that.
Could you help me understand your question a little better? Oh, okay, so the word that I won't say, say, I don't say C-U-N-T. I won't ever say that. I hate that word.
Okay, that you won't say, but
I won't say
where do you think that line is for me?
For you?
Yeah.
I can't picture you saying that word either.
Well, I won't, no.
I can't picture you saying that.
I don't use that.
You're too respectful.
I don't use that level of vulgarity. I'm just talking about, like, the main grouping of...
Okay, MFer.
I guess maybe this is where we should briefly kind of go aside. Again, one more level aside. I look at curse words.
Yeah.
The main grouping of curse words.
Yep.
Ass, damn, shit, fuck. What am I missing?
Did you say ass?
Yes, I did. I started
dick?
With that.
Don't you consider dick like you're a dick? Wouldn't you consider that
I know
a
too
swear?
many guys who are named dicks to be like, no, dick is a name, not a swear. Oh, hell is, some people do, some people don't. Hell.
Yeah.
So I look at that main group of curse words.
Yeah.
And those are the main curse words that are in my vocabulary. Things like vulgarities, like what you were saying, I don't think they're curse words. I think they're just descriptive vulgarities for reaction.
Yeah.
I don't consider them curse words. I consider them just kind of lowbrow, diminishing words.
Yeah. Right, because they're always used to really demean somebody else or express how somebody else is worthless or a piece of crap. But there are
swear words do the same thing.
They do, but I think less vividly. Because my husband works with guys, and some of the things they say to each other is ridiculous. Things that I couldn't even say, like I couldn't even repeat because it's just so gross. Like with anatomy and testicles and body parts and things like that. It's like that's sort of where I don't go there. I I'm pretty boring, I guess. I say, like, the main couple.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at, too, where it's, okay, that main string of curse words, those are the ones that are in my vocabulary. Anything else I feel like it's directly attached to deeper, more insulting, more demeaning, more...
Respect. There's no respect for other people, and I think
Yeah.
we're supposed to, I think as humans, I think we're supposed to have some level of respect for all humans, and that means not calling each other body part names, which is sort of juvenile, I think.
Now, in that same breath, someone drives by me and, again, cuts me off, and I mutter under my breath, jackass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all right, I'm calling him a donkey. That's not exactly a sign of respect either. But I don't want to go into... but... All right, juvenile moment. I don't want to go into that extremely vulgar for the sake of vulgarity kind of spot. And
Right.
I do have that main grouping of curse words. I don't go into that. Anyway, pulling back from that, in that main grouping of curse words, do you think that there is a line in the sand where I'm like, nope?
You or me?
Yes. Me.
No, I don't think so.
Really? There actually is.
In general, like ever, not even by yourself you won't say, or what?
So, all right, and now the story about my son. I have permission, he and I talked about this, of that I can use this story. So this actually happened yesterday.
Okay.
And I couldn't have asked for a better setup than this moment happening.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played the game Among Us?
No.
Okay. It's a popular game. It's this neat thing where, there's a imposter amongst a group, and the imposter is trying to go around and kill everyone, and everyone's trying to find out who the imposter is.
Video game or
And then-
real person? In person?
It's a video game.
Okay.
So you can play it on tablets and phones, things like that. It really gained a lot of popularity. It's been around for a while, but it gained a lot of popularity as we went into the lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So my son was playing that yesterday with my daughter
Mm-hmm.
and Mel, and there's a forum, there's a chat side to all of this as well, because you have to, it's this person's, the word is sus, they're sus.
Mm-hmm.
So in the game, if you get killed, you get shunted into a separate chat that is all of the people who are dead, and they're talking about who the person that killed them is and how the game is going. And
Mm-hmm.
so my son got killed in the game. He was in this separate chat. My wife wasn't there to monitor that chat. She was still in game.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other people in that chat used a swear word.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my son recognized part of it as a swear word. And so when he came downstairs a little later and was talking to me, he was talking about the game, and he goes, and I don't remember what the setup, because, dad brain kicks on.
Yeah.
He sets up the situation and then says, "God damn it."
Oh, yeah.
For me, that's like major red flags. Nope, that's the one that is, nope, we don't insert God into cursing, because, something like "God damn it" for me is actually calling down, and this is my perspective, calling down and saying, not only am I cursing you, I want God to curse you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's one too many bridges too far.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever said that before.
Yeah, that's a nope. And damn it is my curse word. That's the one that is, muttered under my breath when I'm working and, smack my finger or miss my turn, things like that. That's like my zone of cursing. That's the one I like.
Mm-hmm.
You laugh at me. I'm old school. I like damn it. But he brought that up because it was in the chat and he wanted to talk about it. He wanted to process it. And one of the things that I always try to do with the kids is again, give them that free pass to understand why it's a curse word, why it's not exactly something we want to say, and have an honest conversation with them on it that allows them that room to understand what the word is and why it gets the reaction it does when it's said.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you done in navigating curse words with kids?
Well, I almost look at swearing as like a rite of passage. Like, as a kid, you're not allowed to swear because you have no experience in life. So why should you have to swear? You know? And again, let's practice good vocabulary. Let's practice expressing yourself and using your words and things like that. When you're older, that's your decision. But at this age, at 8 years old, you don't need to swear. You're going to express yourself or keep it to yourself. They have heard, I want to say somebody said the F word and they heard it, or we were trying to talk about why it was bad, and I couldn't really broach that one because, how do you explain why fuck is a bad word to say without explaining sex? And, see, okay, this is part of my problem, is that I'm super literal a lot of the times, so, the reason I don't say MFer is because I'm very literal. I think about what that actually means, and that's not at all something I would I would wish for someone else, or I would never assume that about anybody else. So why would I say it? Like, it's just a really weird one. I don't like calling other people's mothers into things. I don't do that.
No, and that's fair. So, all right, with kids and swearing, this is kind of a natural part of child raising and those moments where you're like, oh, that's just rough.
Yeah.
What were the words your kids struggled with?
My kids?
Right, when they were little and they were learning language. Like, truck is a common one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, my son was like 3, my daughter was 1, and the song "What the Fox Say"
yes, right,
came out.
Oh my gosh!
And it was cute and fun, and it felt kind of like a kiddie song. And then, my kid starts singing, and it's "What the fox say." What the crap?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not "What the fox say." It's "What the fox say." Fox, fox, fox. Okay, we're never playing that song again.
Yeah, my kids are kind of boring. They did do that as well, but for us it wasn't really a swear, but it was they wanted to pet the titty. Look at the cute little titty. She's so furry and fuzzy and says meow. The titty. So that was just great. That was great.
Driving with the kids, and again, Ray. Look, it's a fuck. Oh, it's a truck. It's a truck. It's a truck. We can never let them drive with Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what the other one was, but... Oh, kid alert.
Hello there. I'm interrupting this podcast, not to tell you anything per se, but to thank you for listening to the 42 podcast and being a part of the experience. Here at the 42, Rob and I love to hear from our listeners and are always excited to hear suggestions, feedback, and comments. If you want to participate, there are a few ways you can do so. You can support us by rating and reviewing the show, and of course recommending us to your friends, family, bank teller, car mechanic, whomever. Do you have something in particular that you'd like us to discuss? Or maybe you'd like to actually be on the show to discuss a particular thing, or set us straight about something we got wrong or didn't fully suss out to your satisfaction. You can email us at badtheologyproductions@gmail.com. I really appreciate your taking the time to include us in your busy day. I almost spilled my coffee on top of everything else. Okay, sorry.
I capitalized to get a new cup.
No, this is my favorite. My new favorite. Well, one of my favorites. My Tabasco cup. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
kids are a part of why we're doing this as well, and sometimes life steps in.
I almost had her sit with me during the podcast, because she might have stayed still, but this is also like the swearing podcast, so this isn't the good one. This isn't the right one for her to sit through.
Well, she wouldn't hear me if I swore, but that's tough. If, in the future, she needs to sit with you, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
We'll give it a go anyway. Colby's working on a smoker outside. He's trying to fix things so he can't, he's not paying attention. Okay.
So, I don't remember what the word was, but Ray struggled with one word, and it was, it always came out as shit. Every time, it was shit. It took him like a year to get past that one. I don't remember what the word was, but it was always, you as a parent, you're trying not to giggle, because it's this little 2-3-year-old, and you're like, they're learning language, and I know that's not what they're truly saying.
Yeah.
So there's this cute, oh, that's my kid, but at the same time, there's that cringy, oh, that's my kid.
So, what about this? Unless you have somewhere to go from here, but the first time you heard your parents swear, did you ever? I mean, if your parents ever swore in front of you, but how weird that was. Do you remember?
No, actually, I don't. I remember the first time I got in trouble for swearing, which we can talk about in a minute, but go ahead.
Well, I remember hearing, I think my mom was a medical transcriptionist, and I had no idea at the time, because I didn't know any better, but we were really poor. And, so my mom, really needed to work, and we were doing something, I don't remember what we were doing, but she said, "Can't you go the hell outside? Go the hell outside! Play." And my sister and I were like, "Oh my, let's run away from home. She swore." It was great.
All right, I'm going to fight you on this one. I am. I do not consider hell a swear word. I really don't. I never have.
Okay, but it might not be a swear, but it is a curse.
It is a curse.
So it's a curse. It might not be qualified as a swear, because unless you're being weird and using it really literally, like swearing.
See, but again, and this is kind of where my mind splits, of, I'm not going to tell someone, oh, go to hell. I'm not saying that. That's not something that...
No!
And again, that falls into that category of, that's a curse that I don't want to invoke in anyone's life. I hope
you are tortured forever! Why would you say that to someone?
Hey, right. So, to me, that's a curse you can speak into someone's life. That's not a swear. That's a literal curse of desiring endless pain in a life.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's kind of weird and it's a delineation, but I don't consider that a swear word.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
I still use the phrase, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, right, I say that.
Because to me, it's an exclamation of, hell is that place of turbulent crap. I don't know how else to phrase that. It's a turbulent underlying...
Yeah, something bad's happening. Right.
We're having a swear word episode, and I keep coming up with, turbulent crap instead of saying turbulent shit.
Yeah.
I'm censoring myself. Jeez. Which is an interesting thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's... So to me, it's invoking what is the chaos. That's the word I was looking for. It's the chaos of.
Yeah, I buy that. I like that.
Which is why I don't think it's a swear word, because it's what the hell is, what the chaos, what the...
So, you and I love language. I mean, you seem to be a person that really loves words and chooses your words carefully, communicates for a living.
So, kind of comes with the territory,
and I feel the same way. I really think about the things, I really try, especially talking to someone else, to be very sensitive about what I say. Like, I'm a baby. Like, yesterday, I I was talking to my mother-in-law, and so she bought like 4 pounds of strawberry picking. And what she always does is she puts the strawberries, she puts them, mashes them up and puts sugar in them, in fresh strawberries. And I said, that's ridiculous, because to me, it's already really sweet and we're trying to get the kids away from sugar. So I said to her, can you set some aside for me? Because that's ridiculous. And like immediately I felt my conscience twinge because I like attacked her idea or her, it hurt my conscience to say that to her. And I apologized immediately because there was probably a better way to say that or not say anything and just keep my opinion to myself. You know, I don't want to hurt people. And so when I talk, I try to talk in such a way that I avoid attacking someone with my language. So like I never swear at people ever. I can't do it. It hurts my soul.
And again, I will use, when I swear at people, it's mainly driving, so it's isolated by myself. And I'm mainly trying to call the action they have done as the jackass move, or again, going back to, damn it, come on, kind of thing. I don't want to invoke something, I don't want to call down and invoke something in the life of an individual that is negative. And that goes to me of, the words, the tongue has the power of life and death in it. So I don't want to, in my language, speak a life and death curse to, or even imply that person is less than. I don't always do this well. I try to find kind of that balance. And, swearing is an expletive of frustration in a moment. That's how I use it, where it's okay. It's trying to understand what is the immediate emotional frustration in a singular word.
Yeah.
Or in a singular phrase.
So, did you ever watch Mythbusters?
Did I watch Mythbusters? I wanted to be Mythbuster.
Yeah. So in Mythbusters, they do an episode and they have people, they do an experiment about swearing. That swearing makes you feel better. It makes you sustain pain better.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yes.
And it was confirmed that people that were, I think it was that people put their hands in a bucket full of ice, and the people that were allowed to swear or use things like frick, darn it, sugar, 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 those people, even doing the substitute swears, it still did something in that it allowed them to sustain the pain longer than people that weren't allowed to say anything. And I thought that was really interesting.
Now, I would make an argument that might be something that is pain management.
Well, yeah.
And how you manage pain.
Yeah. Right.
Because, like, if I'm hurt, I don't swear.
Yeah.
I laugh.
Right. Maybe that's the same thing.
Like, I have done stupid stuff where I've broken things or hurt things, and my reaction is to laugh. Now, when I hurt my knee, I didn't laugh. But most of the times, it's laughing, and that allows pain management for me. Because it's still kind of an expletive, but it's taking that expletive into a different spot in my brain.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't think that's an argument against what we're saying.
No, and I think it's just understanding how that expletive works, because for me, swearing is the emotional expletive to a situation, whereas laughter is the physical expletive to a pain.
What if, when you swear, because it's technically not allowed and that's exciting, what if that releases... What if that releases endorphins or something like that, and makes it so you can sort of endure something bad for longer.
It's possible. I don't know.
I have no way to verify, and I don't know how to figure that out, but I think that's feasible.
It probably is, and that's
for
more
someone
money
who's had
than we
4
have.
babies. I can say swearing helps.
Hey, power to you.
Mm-hmm.
But so swearing has spots and locations and things that it does. I do want to share this, so because I think it's funny. The first time I remember as a kid getting in trouble for swearing, I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was like in the hallway playing some kind of game. I was like 7 or 8. And I don't remember what the swear word was. But I remember swearing. And my parents were just around the corner in the kitchen and heard me. And they come storming over. Why would you use that word? And I used that moment to throw my dad under the bus.
Ooh.
Where I was like, well, Dad uses it all the time. Why can't I? At which I remember this. My dad's reaction even went, oh, crap, I'm in trouble. Because at that point, the person who swore, that I always remember swearing, was my father. Now, the funny part is I've gotten older.
Yeah.
As all of the siblings have gotten older, and, when we gather together as a family, my mother will point out she has a favorite swear word. And she doesn't use it often, but it's, same emotional expletive. And she has it because it's her mother's favorite swear word. Which I never knew this, and it just feels weird.
What?
Of thinking of my grandmother swearing.
What? What is it?
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so for me, that learned trait of swearing comes from my father, but it's also interesting to see, okay, there's still that learned trait, and maybe my sisters got more of that from my mother than I did.
Yeah.
Boy, that sounds horrible. But, maybe they picked up more on mom swearing and using it as an emotional expletive than dad swearing.
She would have been, if they hung out with your mom more than your dad, that would make sense. I don't like it when my parents swear. I don't like it. To me, it seems like you're unraveling. You're coming apart at the seams, and that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it when they swear. I'm a big baby.
See, my parents don't swear often, but it's still weird hearing shit from my mother. My swearing is in line with like how my father does it, where, damn it is good, jackass occasionally for driver moves and things like that. But like this week, I think I even kind of gave my father a bit of pause, because he and I were talking, and we were talking about an injustice that we had observed that was it was one of those weird injustices. And I was like, this was for me, because there's a space in my head that when I hit that, my default is, it's not what the hell, it's what the fuck. And it's not something I use often, but it's one of those ones that when I hit it, this is just, it's that screwed up of a situation.
Yeah.
And I use that because the injustice was that expletive of a situation to me, because it was, no, this is in no way okay.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, because I think it gave even my father pause of, you use that swear word?
Not all the time.
Yeah, that is like...
That's funny. Maybe
like 4 or 5 times a year where it's just, no.
Because yeah. It has to warrant
it just hits that emotional dead space in my head of, there's no way to even begin to process this other than this is just, the situation is that broken.
Yeah. that's a good way to frame that. When is it appropriate for you? When do you feel it justified to say fuck? And I think that is exactly it. This is not right. This is immoral. Or approaching it. Well, yeah, it's not moral. This is wrong. This is totally wrong. So my sisters swear a lot. And because I really think about the things I say, I really think about the things other people say, and sometimes it really annoys me when they say things like, I might get in trouble, but I don't think she listens to the podcast. She said, I don't know shit about fuck. So I just sort of try to think about that statement for a minute. And what are you saying about poop? Or, see, I know it's not literal. I know people don't really mean it like that, but that's what I think of. Thank you. Now I'm thinking about sex and pooping. So, but I don't get it.
Okay. How much of that literal aspect, and this is actually an interesting place to take it, how much of that literal aspect is what we lose because, we've just written these words off as vulgarity, which I don't think we should.
Yeah.
But it's, okay, if I call a situation a jackass, I'm invoking, you're a donkey. That's stubborn, that's stupid, that's irritating. If I'm saying damn it, it's the literal ceasing of something.
Yeah.
We have dams that stop the water from flowing, so we want to dam.
Robert, it's not that. It's damnation, honey.
I know.
Oh, you do know?
I'm getting there.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You're stopping. You're ceasing the water from flowing. You're damming it. That's the visual image. Okay. Damnation is the stopping, the ceasing of life.
Wait a minute. So are you saying that when you say damn it, you're saying put a wall here and cut that?
No, I'm not saying put a wall here. I'm saying
put this behind the dam. Or are you saying, or are you invoking damnation?
I'm invoking damnation, but damnation, and it's why we call dams dam, is you're stopping, you're ceasing.
Oh.
Yes.
The words have nothing to do with each other. Hold on, now I gotta look this up. That's ridiculous. Maybe you're right, but hold on. That's
how I understand it.
Alright.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're looking it up, because this will be a fun one, I don't know what the truth of the origin of this, but it also kind of a neat little bit on swearing. But, Lindsay?
Yes.
Where does this come from?
Yeah.
Why is the middle finger offensive?
Well, yeah. My kids have asked about that, and I don't know what to say. I just say, just don't, you're just not allowed to do that.
So, this is the story as it was told to me. And I think it's like a compilation of a couple different pieces in history.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to verify this story, but this is a story that my youth pastor told to me on why the middle finger is offensive.
Okay.
So, you're French, right?
Yes.
I happily claim most of my heritage from Scotland, England, and Ireland. I ignore the French and German side for the most part. So, historically, you and I have been at war with each other. You as a Frenchman, and me as a Scotsman, alright?
Mm-hmm.
At some point in the Middle Ages, right around the time when technology was starting to kind of progress a little bit further,
mm-hmm.
the French adopted the crossbow. Because it was a more powerful, heavier bolt that penetrated armor. The English still used the longbow. As the story that I was told goes, the French invaded somewhere in England, and they were fighting to take a castle, and the Frenchmen had all of their crossbowmen, moved them forward to take the castle, to begin just a hail of bolts from their crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a crossbow is great, but it doesn't have the range that the longbow has.
Mm-hmm.
So the Englishmen in the castle, with their longbows, were able to rain arrows on the Frenchmen with their crossbows long before they got in range with their crossbow. And at the end of the day, at the end of the battle, the French declared that any bowmen that they captured, any English bowmen they captured, would have their middle fingers cut off. Okay? And so this battle then happens again the next day, and it's the same thing. The Englishmen with their long bows are able to rain hell on the Frenchmen with their crossbows. And the Englishmen got word that the Frenchmen were going to be cutting off middle fingers of bowmen. So at the end of this second day, all of the Englishmen hold up their middle fingers, and the act of, and as I understand it, the act of drawing a bow is called plucking.
And you use your middle finger?
Uh-huh. And so the Englishmen held up their middle finger saying, "We can still pluck you." Again, that's as I was told.
That's a good, that's a good idea in theory, and it's much cleaner than my thought of where it came from.
There seems to be some historic value to this, not exactly in the way that battle played out, but the Englishmen with their longbows had longer range and had, well, better shots, whereas the Frenchmen had shorter range but could get through armor. So there seems to be some validity to this, and if I remember correctly, there was a point when the Frenchmen put bounties on the middle fingers of longbowmen. So
in Assassin's Creed,
that might be one of those.
They cut off their middle fingers so they can use their hidden blade.
Yeah, but that's for the hidden blade thing.
I know, what I'm just saying, like, interesting. Sure.
So, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a unique aside. And what did we find out about damnation?
Okay, without getting too far down the rabbit hole, it comes, damn, D-A-M, comes from, it's a German and Dutch and originally Old English. Its original is Fordemen, F-O-R-D-E-M-M-A-N, Fordemen, which means to close up. So I don't think it's connected.
See, I always took it as the cessation, damnation of life and damnation of the river, so it was that cessation of. That's how I always took it. But maybe, sounds like I'm wrong.
Well, I will declare today a holiday then.
Oh, it is a holiday. It is you and I are recording on, I always get this wrong, the Juneteenth? Is it Juneteenth?
Yeah, Juneteenth.
Which just got declared as a federal holiday.
Yeah, it did. Pretty cool.
I went to go to the DMV yesterday, and they were like, "Oh, no, we're closed for Juneteenth."
Yeah, pretty cool. Yay.
It is. Yeah. It is. Makes me look and go, why didn't we have this as a holiday before?
Yeah. Well, technically, it's Emancipation Day. To me, that's really... But I guess Emancipation Day is sort of the beginning, and then Juneteenth is sort of like the end. Emancipation Day is when everything should have started. Like, hey, you guys are free as long as we win the war. And then Juneteenth is when the final battles were... everything was totally over on Juneteenth. So
I thought it was when it was announced in Texas.
Well, yeah, but that's like as far... I mean, that's like the farthest reaches of the... To me, that makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, it should have been a holiday a while ago. Okay.
Indeed. So, okay.
Back on the topic?
Yeah. So, I think one of the reasons that I'm really careful of what I say is because I have often, as a child, I put my foot in my mouth a lot because I was repeating what other people said. And then I come to realize that thing doesn't mean what I thought it meant. So, it was both times, this was with my mom, who, if anyone's going to swear, it's not so much my mom. I don't know. I've learned a lot about her over the years, but when I was a kid, she didn't ever do that stuff. So I was watching my sister play a soccer game, and I don't know, something happened, and she was being a baby, or I thought she was being, whatever. And I said that she was a pussy. And, my mom's like, do you know what that means? And I said, no. And she's like, well, then you shouldn't say it. And I'm like, okay. So I was embarrassed that I said that, because I didn't find out what it meant back then. It was a long time later. And then another time I said that something, I don't remember the context, but I said that something I was doing or somebody else was doing would put hair on their ass. I understood the context, sort of, like doing something like Hardy would put hair on someone's ass, and I got in trouble for saying it, and I was embarrassed. So,
and it's actually situations like that have brought me to, the kids get a free pass when they ask out of curiosity, when they're not using it as an expletive. Why they get a free pass of, well, okay, what does this word mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to have those conversations with them in a way that they can understand the force. And that's the language I use, the force of the word. Because you're invoking specific imagery into someone's mind.
Yep.
For you, it's that very literal. And I want them to understand that this is the imagery you're trying to push into someone's head by using these words.
Yeah.
Which is why I give them that free pass, because I don't want them to feel embarrassed about curiosity, but I want them to be empowered to understand language, to understand, and to understand that you're going to bring life or bring death by what you say. And my kids are great; they really are. I'm proud of the young men and women that they're growing into, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting navigating all of this as a parent and being like, am I screwing my child up?
Yeah. Something I harp on my children, especially my son, because he says ridiculous things all the time, that words have meaning and you have to try to be precise or people won't understand what you mean, or they'll think they won't understand you, or they'll think you're stupid. So you have to be precise, and it does matter the words you say. People will take that as a reflection of your character. The words that come out of your mouth reflect your character. And, because he'll just say something, and then he'll say almost the complete opposite of the thing. And so I'll say, well, you just said the opposite. Which one do you mean? And he's like, I don't know. Like, you have to know. You have to be precise. And I think I'm probably annoying about it. I'm very strict, which I don't know. I just think if you can have a command of language, you can, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can get just about anywhere.
Well, isn't that the power of storytelling? What
yeah.
we are collectively as a people trying to do is create narratives in our lives, in the lives of those around us, and building questions of, well, okay, things like, how will I be remembered? What things are of value to me? What are the pieces that I want to be remembered by? And we're shaping that in language. We're shaping that in action. And curse words have that very direct connection of action and language. I mean, they're tied together in a very intimate way, because it's you're calling on or invoking that specific action, that specific curse or character or failure of trait into someone's life. So
I agree. It's important. I think.
Go ahead.
Part of I freeze up a lot in talking with someone or debating with someone because I am so worried that the words I say will be incorrect. Or not even debating, but like if someone's asking me, someone's trying to delve into how I'm doing. How are you? What are you thinking about? Or people used to ask me this all the time, and it scares me. People will say, what is Jesus sharing with you? Or something. So in that situation, I'm trying to delve into myself, and I'm so concerned that what I say is actually a true representation of what's happening. It overwhelms me. I have a hard time talking about myself like that because I want to be precise and say the truth. So words are,
It sounds like you need to find out what your, I guess I'm going to use computer language. You have a MacBook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. You need to find out what your rainbow pinwheel words are. when your MacBook freezes and the cursor turns to that rainbow pinwheel.
Yeah.
You need to find out what your pausing words are. I don't know exactly what God's doing in my life right now. But the general sense of it is this direction kind of thing. Or, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah. The older I get, the more comfortable I am saying I really don't know. I'm not really ready to talk about that. I need to wait because I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I've put my foot in my mouth so much, like with my husband. So, okay. Yeah. To me, the less is more, the older I get, because my husband, you know how when you're texting on your phone and you're texting and nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden it like fills up and you're like, wah. Okay, that's how my husband thinks. So I say something to my husband and I don't really get, he's like, cool, okay, or there's not really an emotional response, and we have a discussion. And then we might talk about it again, a couple days later. But then, 2 months later, we have a conversation, and he's like, actually, that was really hurtful. But he didn't really know it because he really, really had to process through for a long time to figure out the fact that he didn't actually like that idea. So, with my husband, I try really careful with what I say because I know he's like that, and I trying to figure out how not to do that to him with my words,
Well, and that's even interesting because there's this, when you're young and you swear, there's this vulgarity and urgency to the swear. When you're older, there's almost this emotional processing of the moment over the vulgarity. And even in emotional processing time, there's that, because I kind of do that same thing to my wife, where I'm a guy, my emotions are compartmentalized, so it might take me a while to navigate what is this situation through each of those emotions, because I can't feel more than 2 or 3 things at a time, and when I do, I just get emotionally overwhelmed and shut down.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly.
And and again, that's where that expletive comes in, because it's that kind of shutdown state where it's I'm done.
Yep, fuck,
I'm out. I gotta walk away from this and come back. I'm out.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that as a young man either, which is understanding how and the time and that urgency isn't as important as I thought. Mm-hmm. There's things that are urgent, but life will go on. This world made it for the past however many thousands, billions, trillion years without me. It'll make it however long without me in the future.
Yeah.
And I just need to take the time I have. And, for me, then that emotional reaction with swears is just that, no, I'm done. I'm out.
Right. It's like a checkout. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. It makes me feel, I swear a lot when I'm by myself. And I think it just helps me acknowledge that I feel angry about something, and I guess it just sort of lets it out and then it's over. Like having to pick up vacuum potato chip crumbs from under certain people's chairs, and why can't you just pick up the fucking potato chips? And and it's not a big deal, but it just kind of felt good to get that out. Okay. And nobody's around. It's just for me. And now I can move on.
Hey, it is that emotional processing. What do you need to do it? How do you do it? How can you do it safely? And yeah. I thought we'd talk more about the history of swears. We never dived into that. We stuck in the I don't know. This has been an interesting one. This has been a fun one.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. So, wrapping up, I thought about 2 topics that I really want to talk about.
What?
And one of them I think is going to take a little bit more study time. And we've got that big one that you brought up that we're going to talk about. We should probably introduce as well. Mm-hmm. But I would like to talk about mythology.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
yesterday I was watching King Arthur and something of the sword, or I forget what it was. It came out in 2017, and I finally got around to watching it. And I love King Arthur stuff. I really do. It's just this neat little, is it, isn't it, who could have been piece of history that I love engaging with. And that made me think we should actually do something that is interacting with mythologies, like favorite mythologies.
Oh, that could be a series all by itself. Because there's a lot.
I think we could, maybe look at that for like August time frame.
Hey,
because we also need.
I've got a really good.
Go ahead.
You like audiobooks, and Neil Gaiman has Norse mythology, and it's really well written. And he reads it, and his voice is just so amazing and nice, and it's funny. It's really funny. You'll love it. You'll love it. Okay. I let my kids listen to it, and I listen.
I'll have to look into that.
It's good because that's a good one for. Research. That's good research or whatever for that.
Well, and we need to also talk about, mythologies like Nessie.
Nessie.
Do you believe?
Yeah.
So I'm a Scotsman, so yeah, default setting. Yes, I believe. There's a monster there. We just have to find her. But I don't think we ever will, because it's Nessie. She only comes out when she needs to. All right, Anyway, and I think the other fun one, the one that will require less research and just be fun to see how crazy we are.
Okay.
How we even need to get we will need to get special headwear for this one.
What?
Conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, do you not like conspiracy theories?
I just feel funny about them. Like, I don't want to be somebody that believes in conspiracy theories. I want to like either have proof and believe in that thing, but I don't go so far as to really ascribe to conspiracy theories. I don't think. I mean, maybe I do and I just don't realize it, but to me, crazy people have conspiracy theories. Okay.
You just called me crazy.
So, part of my problem, I think, is despite my knowledge of history and my Christian upbringing, I still have a really hard time believing that people are evil. Like, really evil? I have a hard time believing that. Like, really believing that. When I meet someone,
Really?
I assume they're basically good. And when I hear about other people in the news, I kind of assume they're basically good, and I have a hard time wrapping my head around somebody really who wants to hurt other people. I don't understand. I can't fathom that. So I think that definitely influences my everything. Politics and ideology, and I know that I feel that way. I've realized that about myself, and I don't know. So
that's not a bad thing, okay? So don't take my reaction as, oh no, that's a horrible thing. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk more about that with you, because that is actually really interesting. Kind of that default assumption that we walk into, especially with the topic that you chose for us to do some big research on.
I know.
And yeah, you want to introduce that one now?
Yeah. So I want to study dictators and dictatorships, and kind of the first thing we're going to really study is fascism / Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany, and talk about that. And I think, again, it's just such a fascinating thing to me, because how did this happen? How can somebody really believe that you are less than me because of your ethnicity, because you're Jewish? Like, what the hell? I don't understand how people can believe that, or not feel empathy, not hurt when you punch somebody else in the face, never mind shove them into a gas chamber. How can you live with yourself? I just, it's mind-blowing to me.
It wasn't just the Judaic nature. It was the idea, not Judaic nature. It wasn't just the Jewish people. It was anyone who didn't fit into the ideals that they espoused as the master race.
Right. Yeah.
And, the Jews were by far the biggest scapegoat that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't the only ones they targeted.
No, of course not.
And it was just finding every avenue of really effectively creating victimhood status for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
saying everyone else is the oppressor, and we, as the victims who now have power, can be the oppressor to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's more telling about how they got to that point as a people.
Yeah.
In that time frame. And I want to talk more about that, because I might even be wrong. It's been a bit since I've read anything around this. And you and I are talking about doing that in the fall, because that's a big conversation, a bunch of big conversations to have.
Yeah. We have a lot of research to do.
Yeah, we do have a lot of research to do, and we're looking at doing that in
October?
September, October, I think. Yeah. We need to figure a few things out before we have those. What our reading lists are, what our areas of study and focus are. But we've got a good slate of things coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
But you think I'm crazy. You think I'm tin hat crazy. Tinfoil hat crazy.
I guess crazy's too strong of a word.
Because I believe in conspiracy theories.
See, now
not all of them.
No, I don't think you're crazy.
Some of them.
I don't think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was being... See, that's why I can't say things. That's why I shouldn't say anything. Just keep it to myself.
There's no insult. You know that.
Yeah, that'd be...
If we were gonna get insulted and offended, then there's no point to this podcast.
Yeah.
Especially after we just spent the past hour swearing at each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, well, hey, this has been a good one. This has been fun.
It has been fun. Yep.
So, all right. Next week's will be a lot less expletive rated, filled, something.
Yeah. I think pretty much I don't think we really ever swear. Maybe we say hell every once in a while, but we don't usually swear.
Which again goes into that argument of, is it truly a swear? Is hell a swear? I view hell as a place in the reign of chaos.
But anyway...
But no, I think this is the first time we've ever sworn in the podcast.
And
we swore a lot.
Yeah, I like the idea of people being able to listen with their kids, or I don't know. Not that it's for kids, but it's just like I like listening to podcasts in my car, but I can't listen to some. Some of them you can't listen to with your kids, and that's annoying. So.
Well, we do call the podcast not navigating, but we talk about how we're talking about life, the universe, and everything else in between.
Mm-hmm.
And, swearing is a part of life, and we don't intend to go into these hard topics often, but they're parts of life.
Yeah. We do not want to blanch at life.
No, we don't want to steer away from hard topics. And, there will probably be more hard topics down the road, and we'll give warnings. We'll be open about, nope, here we're going to talk about hard things. Maybe don't have the kids around, but...
Yeah. Yep.
At some point, my children will grow up, and they will be adults, and how they navigate those hard topics of life, they're learning from me now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how to navigate those hard topics of life with them now without screwing them up later.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
And that in and of itself is a huge, intimidating, terrifying undertaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we don't swear to be vulgar.
No.
We do swear, but not to be just reactionary and vulgar. But it's there.
It's like highlighting something in a book. It's like, oh, remember this. This is not worthy.
Yep.
Anyways.
But, alright.
It was fun.
This has been fun.
I said it first.
Yes,
right.
You did. We keep doing that today.
Yeah. You take care. Have a good day. I'm checking out.
Hey.
What?
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the 42 podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, and if you want to join in on the conversation, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter to add your voice to the conversation. Thank you.